Killers of the Flower Moon marks the 7th time that Leonardo DiCaprio and Martin Scorsese have collaborated. I'm going to break down the good and the bad in this spoiler-free review. This film, based on a true story, is different than their previous work because of the time period that it takes place in, but still has some similarities once you see the events that transpire in the movie. It's about killings that were taking place in the Osage tribe in 1920s Oklahoma, and it showcases a lot of what was transpiring around the oil industry of that time. It's based on a 2017 book by David Grann. It's an Apple TV Plus original that'll spend at least some of its time in the theaters, which is where I saw it, but I'm sure it'll be on the streaming platform soon enough. As of this recording, it's projected to do 24 to 28 million in its opening week, and early ticket sales are pretty low, but I'm sure word of mouth will help this movie a little bit, just like it did Oppenheimer earlier in the year. I love the prestige that Apple's film division is building for itself, and this film definitely adds to that. The performances here were everything we've come to expect from a Martin Scorsese movie. DiCaprio's earnest character was complex, caught between loving his wife and his money-chasing nature. Lily Gladstone and Robert Denero were great too. The wardrobe and set design were fantastic. Every detail appeared to be from the time, down to Leonardo DiCaprio's teeth. At least I think those were fake, and it's beautifully shot too. I'd be surprised if awards aren't in this movie's future. It brings light to important topics in history and what went on. We basically get a great story about the rush for oil money that happened back then. Let's face it, this movie was way too long, 3.5 hours. It mostly breezes by, but I was really struggling at the end. I do feel like if I was at home on the couch, I would have had to break it up into multiple sessions. As far as the story goes, I didn't like that there were no real heroes in this movie, but lots of victims. I feel like the Native Americans should have had a bigger presence in this movie other than Maggie. Where were the younger adult male Osage tribe members? I know it's based on a true story, but I feel like they would have made their presence felt a bit more than was shown and intervene with what was going on. I thought it was a great movie, but I didn't have that much fun really watching it. We'll talk more about that later. I didn't really like the things that were going on. I doubt I'd feel the need to watch it again, but I am glad that I saw it. The way they chose to wrap it up was kind of weird and it didn't fit in with the rest of the movie. It felt kind of tacked on, like they didn't get a chance to film the actual ending of the movie. Let's talk a little bit about Scorsese and his comments on cinema versus blockbuster movies. So we know he said those movies are closer to theme parks than they are to movies. I'm going to read this other quote from him. He said cinema was about revelation, aesthetic, emotion, and spiritual revelation. It was about characters and the complexity of people and their contradictory and sometimes paradoxical natures, the way they can hurt one another and love one another and suddenly come face to face with themselves. Going off those two quotes, I feel that blockbuster movies and superhero movies have the potential to be cinema. They might not all have the goal to be that or be successful in accomplishing that, but they don't need to. Killers of the Flower Moon wasn't the most fun to watch if you aren't into period pieces, regardless of all the other great things that it does. The average moviegoer is headed to the movies to have a good time. And if I was presented with this movie or something like Avengers Endgame to enjoy my evening with, I'd pick Endgame every time. So Killers of the Flower Moon is a great movie, a great piece of cinema even. If you enjoy Oscar bait type films, then you might enjoy this one too. If you enjoyed something like Oppenheimer, then this might be the movie for you. It isn't exactly my favorite type of movie, but I still appreciate all of its merits. So are you planning on checking out Killers of the Flower Moon, or did you like it? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and follow my channel so you don't miss the next one.